Our registered dietitian Diana Steele in studio with us today. With all this summer-like weather, we've switched focus to summer salads, and we're talking about watermelons today.
And especially at this time of year, oh my goodness, with the heat outside, if there was one fruit to give your kids, it would be a piece of watermelon.
The one, yes.
92% water content in watermelon, and full of nutrients as well. In 1 cup of watermelon you're going to get about 25% of your daily vitamin C. So it's not all water. You actually get some vitamins, vitamin A. But watermelon's also known for containing lycopene, and you may have remembered me talking about tomatoes and lycopene because they help reduce the risk of prostate cancer. Well, watermelon is also a very good source of lycopene. So having watermelon in your salads and cooking it in chutneys and all sorts of things can help reduce your risk for cancer. Not just prostate, there's many different types of cancers that it's been involved in. Also contains citrulline, and citrulline is an amino acid that helps to create arginine, which helps with wound healing and cell reproduction, cell division. So
it's not just a pretty fruit.
No, you need to promote this a little more. To impact all that stuff.
How do you know you're getting a good watermelon?
You can see people going like in the stores, but tapping it doesn't really do much. You want it to be heavy for its size. So if you feel how heavy that is, that's a good watermelon,
so
and that means
dense,
it's very full of water.
Okay.
The other thing is on its belly, if you turn it over, there's a yellow belly. So this is the area where it was lying on the ground in the field. And if it's all green all over your watermelon, it means it was picked before it was ripe. This means that it was allowed to ripen on the vine long enough. So always look for the yellow belly, this creamy little area.
Isn't that interesting? Because a lot of people, I bet, would think if it was all green all over,
it would be
perfect,
better.
Right?
That's right. But so that's not the case.
Okay, so heavy, and look at the bottom. That's
yellow
the key.
belly.
Yellow belly. And a little bit of a sort of grayish bloom is good too. I've handled this quite a bit, so it's lost some of its bloom, but you don't need it to be shiny. That grayish sort of waxy color also means that it's nice and fresh. And a watermelon that's uncut can last on the counter for 7 to 10 days. So you don't have to put it in your fridge, which people are always wondering, how am I going to fit that in there? So only once you've cut it. So then when you get pieces like this, you need to wrap them in plastic and store them in your refrigerator for 3 to 4 days, no longer than that. When you're buying a watermelon at the grocery store and it's already cut, you don't want it to have cracks in it. That means that it was cut quite a bit earlier. So make sure that it was just freshly cut, it's been tightly wrapped, and then you can buy those. Otherwise, buy the whole thing, because sometimes it's cheaper than having them do that. So I've got all kinds of different ingredients here for 2 different salads.
Fresh stuff.
Exactly. This one is a watercress salad, and it's got fresh watermelon balls, which I used an ice cream scoop because I don't have a watermelon ball, which makes them nice little half circles. Fresh shrimp, you can use spot prawns at this time of year, and then sharp cheddar and just a balsamic dressing. And if you wanted to, Lynn takes your spoon and just sort of place those on there nicely. At this time of year, watermelon...
Place them nicely.
Yeah,
don't
nicely.
You
can pour them on top. It's going to look very pretty. So watermelon season in BC is really August. We get watermelons, good watermelons, from June until August, but the majority of the watermelons we're getting are from the U.S. In fact, Canada gets 98% of all the exported watermelons from the U.S. So we really are a good receiver of watermelons.
Good consumers of the American watermelons.
Yeah, and then we get our local ones in August primarily, so you can watch for those. We're going to do another salad over here. So this is just spinach that I've sliced up into little pieces, and then if you want to pour, this is going to be a layered salad, so we're going to pour that right on top.
Whole bowls going in?
Right on, yeah, the whole thing. And it's going to make a nice layer of orange. So we're going to see the green, and then we're going to see orange. I've been looking for salad recipes that my children will like, because they're not really big on lettuce, but they love spinach, they love carrots, they love watermelon. So this is going to be a nice fresh salad that they'll eat. And so then, pour that right on top. And you don't even have to do it pretty.
But I will.
But it does. And those watermelons, it's interesting to be able to cut a cube of watermelon. You have a lot of watermelon waste, which is why I made this other thing I'll show you in a minute. And then these are just toasted almonds, which we can sprinkle on top. And then I've got a beautiful dressing that has ginger in it. And the flavor of ginger with a little bit of soy sauce, some rice wine vinegar, and olive oil, or I used peanut oil and sesame oil. And then I'm just going to mix it a little bit. And then we'll just drizzle this right on top. And you can even let this sit a little while, or you can serve it right away. But it's a beautiful salad. Oops.
It won't get soggy if you let it sit?
Kid approved. Well,
our cheese is a little bit soggy because it's been sitting under these lights.
Lights,
so
I know. The cheese is a little
together.
stuck together. And then this recipe here is simply the leftover watermelon that wasn't a beautiful cube, squeezed out a little bit so some of the water came out, and then blended with one of those sweet chili sauces. and the Thai sweet chili sauce. And then you can just take a prawn and dip it in. Do you like prawns? Would you like to try one?
I would like to try. So this is, it's got a little bit of kick, but also sweet too, a combo?
That's right. Not too much kick because I want everyone to be able to enjoy it. So, but it's nice and sweet.
That's delicious.
Perfect.
Very fresh.
Mix this up.
And then there we go with our balsamic vinegar dressing, just drizzled on top of the shrimp. And so that balsamic vinaigrette with the sharp cheddar makes a really nice flavor combination. And then you can serve this with a grilled baguette with garlic on top if you want. If you're sitting by the barbecue and you want to sit outside and munch on something.
These just scream summer.
Yes.
Look at that. The kids would love this, though, right?
And isn't that pretty, all the different layers there? And watermelon being so healthy and in season, it's time to get those watermelons out for your
very
next
nice, Diana.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That looks very good. Thanks so much, Diana. If you want to know more, if you have any nutrition questions for Diana, you can contact her 604-739-3290. Check out her website, eatingforenergy.com, and you can follow her on Twitter @eatingforenergy.